No walks.
No walks. All right, Coach. Caven went career high 4 strikeouts tonight. What did you see from him, and how has he progressed in the last 5 starts?
Well, I think his last start, I thought he was way better than the previous start, and we had talked about throwing his secondary for strikes, and that's going to make him even better. And I thought today he did it, And obviously he wasn't very happy with me that I took him out after the 4th inning, but that's what happens on Tuesdays when, for the most part, we've been using the same guys on the weekends, and so it was awesome to see Braxton Pearson out there. Like I told him, he didn't do anything wrong, but I wanted to see Trip Banta against a lefty coming out of the pen, and Trip came in and struck the guy out, and then obviously to get Garrett right back out there, and then Gray Thomas, Cohen Feeser as well. So, that's kind of the recipe that we've had, right? Have good starting pitching, which we did tonight with 4 shutout innings by Caveman, and then the offense put up a big number in I think it was the 2nd, right? And that allowed us to be able to kind of do what we wanted to do in terms of our game plan prior to the game starting, was to get some guys that hadn't really got a chance to throw in games, and that was awesome to see.
Not just on the mound, in the field.
Yeah, and I just said to the team, the best thing that I saw tonight, besides in a 15-1 game, the best thing I saw tonight was when you have Tommy Sacco, Gray Rogers, Braden Taylor, Curtis Byrne, Elijah Nunez in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. Not one of those guys was tuned out against the back wall. They were all in the front row, super excited for the opportunities the guys that came in after him had. So that says a lot. That didn't come from anybody in the dugout, but each one of those guys was on the top step cheering for them, just like those guys cheer for them when they're playing. So, that tells me a lot in terms of what we have in our dugout.
Kirk, I know you've talked about him before, but Curtis, just how much has he just kind of embraced this opportunity, and what's he meant to the team stepping in when Michael went down?
Well, Curtis has been waiting a long time for this, right? His first 2 years playing behind, Zach Humphreys, and now, his opportunity is here, and his nickname is Nails for a reason, and he's getting some really big hits, and even the ball that he hit to right field was on the button in the 1st inning. So he's catching it. He's throwing as good as we've had a catcher throw in terms of being accurate with good arm strength. He's working his tail off in terms of blocking pitches. You can't say enough in terms of the work he's put in over the first 2 years, and then this year to be able to go out, and now I think he's been able to take a deep breath and just play baseball like he probably would when he was at Christian Brothers in St. Louis.
Well, because he is a highly touted kid coming here. Is this kind of what you guys expected? I know you never take it for granted.
Yeah. Well, we always expect the best version of the guys that when we recruit them. That's why we signed them, and sometimes it takes guys longer than others. A guy like a Riley Cornelio, or not everybody steps in day one and is Braden Taylor. Has a freshman All-American year. There's a lot of challenges going from high school to college baseball, and figuring out life and doing it away from home. And so I think he's able to now just take a deep breath and be able to go out and play baseball and not put too much pressure on each pitch or each at bat. He's just able to trust his talent now.
With that being said, is Petrie close?
Yeah, today he took a bunch of swings. He's able to catch baseballs now, and so we're going to actually have him and Austin Crow through a bullpen, he said that's the best he's felt in a really long time, and it looked really good. So we're going to throw a sim game with Riley throwing to Michael Petrie on Thursday before we head to Stillwater. So really excited that he's going to start facing hitters, and who knows, maybe he'll be on the active roster in Stillwater, maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out in terms of Crow, but I think Michael's still probably, a week away. Maybe probably for that Florida State series would be my guess.
So Coach Mo the other day, he said a win always starts with starting pitching. Over the last 4 games, we've seen dominant performances from each starting pitcher. Mm-hmm. What does that mean for your ball club now, and what are your thoughts on performances and what it means moving forward too?
Yep, it's way easier to play from ahead than from behind, and we've been able to get off to better starts. That's the main thing, and it allows your offense to not feel the pressure to score or get back into games. And so it's always going to be that way. Like you can say the greatest speech on the planet, just make sure the next day starting pitcher is really, really good, because then that speech oh, that was a great speech. No, the starting pitcher was really good. So it's going to continue to take that, and continue to understand what it takes to win. And this group is definitely starting to figure that out.
A little reversal of the Balk situation from this weekend where Sacco got called back to third base. What did the umpire say to you?
Well, it was a little confusing. I think third base umpire didn't know he was out of the windup, so thought it was a balk. He went and discussed with the home plate umpire. One of those weird rules in terms of, is he in the windup, is he not in the windup? And so, in those situations, I didn't really want to go out there in a game of that score, but for me it comes down to, I asked these guys to play every single pitch, so I need to do that in terms of the way I coach too. I'm not going to just sit on my hands in here when something that we can get another run or two happens. Curtis hits the double, we get the runs anyway, but I think it starts from the top in terms of we're going to play all 9, and I'm going to coach all 9 or coach all 7, whatever it may be. And so that's kind of what happened. Umpires are put in tough spots with some, the new rule of, declaring the windup, because you can have your feet that look like you're in the stretch, and so they're in a tough spot. And so I think they ended up getting the call right. I think there was just some confusion in terms of, was he in the windup or the stretch.